Alright, Brush Monkeys, welcome back. And for the next few weeks, I'm going to be going over this Army Painter skin tone set. This set's actually been out for a while. By the time when I was planning this video, it was brand new and I'd just gotten it and just gotten all these Barbarian figures to try it out on. And then I decided to do a series of them, and the only place I could fit it in was years down the line. So this actually came out about 2 years ago, but these videos are really going to put this through its paces. And I want to talk about this set because this has become like my go-to set for doing skin tones, especially non-white skin tones. This has been a problem for me because there's not a whole lot of... I've had to kind of augment it with some Vallejo colors and things like that to get decent African-American skin tones and Asian skin tones and things like that. And this set kind of covers a lot of it. All by itself. The set itself consists of these 9 colors. Okay, you got onyx skin, mocha, tiger's eye, jasper, ruby, dorado, topaz, amber, and opal skins. And then there's 3 pigment toners: obsidian pigment toner, pearl pigment toner, and garnet pigment toner. Then it comes with 4 empty bottles that you can mix your own pigments in. You can see I've already done 2 of them. I mixed this one. There was a mix of the obsidian pigment toner and the onyx skins, designed to be a little darker than the onyx. And then this one was a mix of the garnet pigment toner, topaz or ruby and jasper skin, because you can see there's not really it's kind of a stark transition between the jasper here and the ruby skin, and this one kind of fills in that gap a little bit, makes it a little less of a stark transition. So I wanted to mix those up myself. It also comes with 3 washes, and I'm just knocking everything over here because I'm like Godzilla in downtown Tokyo here. But it comes with a dark skin wash, strong skin wash, and soft skin wash. And while those sound like the dark, strong, and soft tones of their regular washes, these are different. These skin tones have kind of a reddish tone to them, so they're not kind of a reddish brown tone to them, so they're not just straight up black, brown, and sepia washes like their regular washes. These are formulated specifically to look right on skin tones, which is fantastic. The best thing about this system, I think, is the fact that all the skin tones are designed to be used as triads. Let me pause here for just a second and clear some of this off, and I'll show you what I mean. Alright, so just focusing on the skin tones, all these skin tones are designed to be used in triads. And this is the brilliant thing about this, is that the entire set is triads. so for the darkest skin tone, you'd use this as your shadow, this is your shade, this is your mid-tone, this is your base. Okay, and that's how we're going to paint this lady that we're going to be starting in on today. That's how we're going to paint her. Then the next one is going to use, this is the dark tone, this is their mid-range, and that's their highlight. Okay, then the next one will be dark tone, or dark mid-range highlight. See how that works? That's fantastic, isn't it? And so every set of 3 colors is the dark, mid-range, and highlight. And you can do that with all of them. Just work down the line. That's how we're going to do these. So every miniature, the mid-range on the miniature is going to be the dark tone of, let me see. The mid-range of one miniature is going to be the highlight of the next, I think, or something like that. But anyway, yeah, we're just going to be working down our way in triads like that until we get down to this guy. And I think that's going to look really fantastic, and you'll be able to see the full range of the skin tones possible with this set. And we'll also be using probably the soft tones for the women and the strong tones for the men. Maybe the dark tones for the darker skin tones, but we'll cover that when we get to it. But right now I'm going to put all these away with the exception of this one. This is the one we're starting in today. This is the DHL female barbarians from Reaper. It comes as a 3-figure set of these 3 figures. Okay. And we're just going to be painting this one today. We're going to be painting this one next week, and then this one the week after, and we'll just go down the line like that. Okay. So I'm going to turn off the camera and get started on this one, and we'll come back and see how she looks. See you soon. Bye. Alright, Brush Monkey, so first impression, this is the onyx skin, and you can see it's kind of very deep brown. It doesn't look like much now. I haven't put the shade wash on it, I haven't put any of the layers on it. This is just the flat onyx skin by itself. Obviously that dark skin tone is going to bring out some color to it. The layers are going to bring out some color to it, but this is a very nice deep tone to start with, to begin with, and it is really nice. The thing I will tell you about these flesh tone colors though is all of them are really thin, so you're going to need multiple layers. This is after probably 2 layers, you know, to borrow a phrase from Duncan Rhodes, 2 thin layers of the onyx skin on there, but it does look really good. I really like how it came out. I think it's going to look good when I get I've got Nightmare Black for the hair, I've got Basilicanum Gray and Necron Dry for the armor and the sword, I've got gold for the sword hilt and pommel, all these other colors that we're going to add to it, but for the most part I want you to just focus on the skin tone for these, and that's really the intent behind these videos, is to put the skin colors through their paces. And so far so good. So I'm going to let this dry, and then we'll put the wash on it and then start highlighting it and see how it goes from there. Alright, see you soon. Bye. Alright, so this is with the dark skin tone wash on it and a slight highlight of the mocha skin layered on. You can see that's much more, where the onyx skin seemed kind of flat, this is a little warmer and has depth to it, and I think this looks really good. I'm going to let this dry, and then we're going to put the tiger's eye highlights on it, and this is kind of a nice reddish brown, but still fairly dark, and I think it's going to look really nice when it's done. Because this is mostly about focusing in on the skin, I'm not going to really attempt to do a whole lot with the rest of the armor. Like, I'm not just going to say, okay, this is what she looks like with the skin done, now boom, this is what she looks like completely done. But you know, it's going to be shorter segments for the rest of it, because this is really focused on putting the army painter skin tones through its paces. And so far I gotta say it looks really good. I really like how it's turned out so far. So, like I said, I'm going to let that dry for a little bit, and then we'll come back and put the tiger's eye skin on there, and then we'll see how she looks. Alright, see you soon. Bye. Alright, so now we have the tiger's eye skin layered on, and I thought that kind of came out to a little bit of a stark reddish change from the mocha skin, so I went ahead and glazed on a thinner layer of the dark skin tone, and that got me exactly what I was looking for. That's a nice kind of reddish black skin tone. I really like how that turned out. It still looks a little stark now, but I think once I get the rest of the colors on there, it's going to look pretty nice. I also used Vallejo red leather for the lips, and I think she's gonna turn out really nice. I really like how this is coming along so far. So that's the skin. Now the rest of it is gonna I'm gonna go ahead and paint the rest of it, the hair and armor and whatnot, and we'll come back and look at it each stage in that. But this is really intended to show off the skin tone, and I think you see how well that skin tone looks when this whole thing's finished. So it looks quite a bit brighter on camera than it does in real life. It looks quite a bit darker in real life. So I'm going to pause here and go get started on the rest of it, and then we'll come back and see how she looks. Okay, see you soon. Bye. Alright, I made some more progress on our gal here. I've got the armor and the weapons painted with the Gravelord Gray and then dry brushed with Necron Compound. I've got the golds based with the Palomino Gold. See there? And then we'll go over that with the Greedy Gold. So, and we got our hair painted, and we got, yeah, that's as far as we got. So, pretty good progress, and you can kind of see how that skin tone's starting to look next to everything else now. Up next, I've got the Wraithbone out. I'm going to do her leathers, the straps across her chest there, the wristbands, the boots. The tops of her boots are going to be Gorgonta fur. Actually, the tops of her boots, and it looks like she's got a little bit of fur around the cuff of them too. So we'll do those in Gorgonta fur. And then we'll come back and see how she looks. Oh, her belt needs to be done too. And then probably the grip of her sword. So I'm going to go base all the leathers, and then we'll come back and once the leathers are done, we'll come back and take a look at her. All right. See you soon. Bye. Alright, so the leathers are all based in the Wraithbone, and the furs have been painted in Gorgonta fur. That's that nice reddish brown. I went ahead and did the sword grip in that reddish brown too, just to make it stand out from the snakebite leather that's going to be around her wristband there. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry, and then we'll put the snakebite leather on there, and then we'll come back and see how she looks before I do the final bit with the gold and the basing there. So, see you soon. Bye. Alright, so we're back and we got the leathers done, and she looks pretty good. Really happy with how she turned out. And now that she's mostly done, with the exception of the base, you can see how that skin color works with all the other colors. It's really nice dark skin tone. Looks really pretty spiff. So I'm going to go ahead and finish her up with the base. It's going to be usual Absolution green, Niblet green dry brush, and dark green base band. Same thing you've seen me done 100 times. I'm going to go ahead and paint the golds on there too, because it's still yellow. But actually, let's go do the yellow first, and then golds first, and then we'll come back and take one last look at her, and then we'll finish her up with the greens. Okay. See you soon. Bye. Alright, one last update before I wrap it up. I got the Greedy Gold on there, and I've got some Tamiya Clear Red on that gemstone in the middle of her sword hilt there. And that looks spiffy. I really like how that turned out. And now you can kind of get an overall view of how all these different colors, all these different browns work together. It looks really nice. Like I said, the base is going to be the usual Absolution green speed paint with Niblet green dry brush and a dark green base band. You see me do that 100 times. I'm not going to put you through it. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here and wrap that up, and then we'll come back and see how the finished figure looks. All right, see you soon. Bye. Alright, brush monkeys, there she is, our first female barbarian from Reaper Miniatures. I think she came out really fantastic. You can see how that skin tone set makes for a nice dark skin tone on her. Next week we'll be doing another barbarian from the same set. It's a set of 3 barbarians. I think it's called like Dark Heroes Legends or something like that. But the next one will have a sword and shield, and we'll be using the mid-range of this figure, the mid-range color of this figure, the mocha, as the base of the next figure. So it's going to be the deepest shadow on the other figure, and we'll highlight up from there. And we'll continue on like that through the whole series. So I think she really turned out fantastic. At the end of the series, I'll show all of them together so you can see the progression of the paint colors through the different skin tones. And yeah, along the way we'll review and analyze the properties of the various paints. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Hey Breast Monkeys, Tom here. If you like what you see, click like down below, and if you want to be notified when new videos get posted, click subscribe. And in the meantime, if you want to support us in any way, check me out on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. We're on all those platforms. If you see a miniature on the site that you want to make one of your own, hit me up on Instagram. I can quote you a price for that. And if you want any Flying Monkey Studios merchandise, like t-shirts, things like that, hit me up on storefrontier.com/flyingmonkeystudios and get all your merch there. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.